Okay, hello, my name is Mikhail Aleksandrov, and today I'm going to talk about monetary policy in Russia. So that's kind of a small presentation, and that's going to be like, an additional part for my assignment about monetary policy analysis. So here we go, and what you can see at these pictures, basically from the right side, this is the logo of Bank of Russia, and from the left side, you can see actually the building of the Russian central bank. So I think that's not really important here to talk about history about this building, and I'll jump right away to functions of the Bank of Russia. So basically, we can identify four main functions, and one of the functions is going to be divided in three categories. So the first one is issuing center of the country, the second one is bank of banks, the third one the banker of the government, and regulation of economy. At the same time, we can separate bank of banks in lender of last resort, control over banks, and main settlement center of the country. By the way, you can see all the citations, in-text citations right down there, and full citations are going to be at the end of the presentation. So right here, let's talk a bit more about monetary policy and to be more exact about instruments of the Bank of Russia. By the way, this picture from the right side, this is the current chairman of the Central Bank of Russia, Elvira Nabiulina, and I'm going to list 7 main points, or likely 7 main instruments of Russian monetary policy. The first one is interest rates on Bank and Russia operations, mandatory reserve requirements, operations on the open market, refinancing of credit institutions, currency intervention, setting benchmarks for money supply growth, and issuing of bonds in from their own name. Basically, the central bank plays a key role in conducting monetary policy while it pursues specific goals, regulating the rate of economic growth, easing cyclical fluctuations, curbing inflation, and achieving balance in foreign economic relations. So what do we have here? So this is from the right side, you can see the Central Bank of Canada, from the left side, Central Bank of Russia. And Canada's monetary policy framework consists of 2 components that work together: an inflation control target and a flexible exchange rate. I'm gonna add a bit more from my side. After a lot of research which I've done, I've noticed that for Canada, it is mostly identified that the main monetary policy instrument is, tool in this case. That's the same. The main monetary policy tool is targeting and regulating overnight ratio, while, as you have seen, for Russia we have got even 7 different instruments. Of course, that's obvious that Bank of Canada, it issues their own money, and it has most of the same functions which Central Bank of Russia has. But this is the thing. That's an interesting point. I'm not sure why it happens, but my research shows that for Central Bank of Russia, we've always got 7 or 8 main tools for monetary policy, while for Central Bank of Canada, they're always identifying exactly one specific one, the one about overnight ratios, which I've already said. Okay, this one, a bit of reading, and this is objectives of monetary policy in Russia. Well, protection of income and savings in the national currency from unpredictable depreciation. So what does it mean? This allows you to maintain your standard of living and plan your daily and long-term expenses more confidently. And the second one is protection of low-income citizens. These families mostly buy inexpensive basic necessities. Consistently low inflation allows us to maintain the level of consumption, right? The third one is helps to increase the availability of debt financing for companies, since it reduces the inflation. Oh my god, that's a complicated word. Inflationary premium that banks put in interest rates, simplifies financial and investment planning for business. And the last one is increased confidence in the national currency and create conditions for reducing the value of assets and liabilities in the economy. This in turn reduces the impact of changes in external conditions of the economy. Well, I think this is one of the last slides, and actually, well, why did I locate it there? Probably supposed this to be a bit before, but whatever. Gonna say just a couple of more words about monetary policy tools, like to specify them or something like this. Open market operations are the activities of the Central Bank of Russia for the purchase and sale of securities on the open market. The target interest rate is achieved by buying or selling government securities or other financial instruments. Currency intervention is an action of the Central Bank of Russia, my grammar mistake, in the foreign exchange market aimed at maintaining or weakening the national currency, during which a large amount of currency is bought or sold at a time or for a limited period. And the last one, the issue of cash, is the central bank of banknotes issue in circulation to meet the additional need of economic agents for money, which arose as a result of the excesses of cash disbursements over the receipt in the bank in the country as a whole. So basically, here you kind of can see the Russian monetary policy rate. This is inflation CPI. Pretty much you may notice that somewhere in 2015, 2016, it was pretty much high, more than 15%. And within the last, 5 years, it dropped down significantly. And now we can say that it is somewhere around, that's 3%, I believe. So and in tax citation included as well. So I don't really have much time to talk about that because I think I'm running out of the limit for the time. And here we have got citation page. Thank you for your attention, and let's stop the recording.